It is the French Week for 2025. Welcome to the Business Forum of the 2025 French Week that is aimed at highlighting the commercial relations between France and Nigeria. And that's what we want to showcase here.
I encourage all the delegates today present to move beyond ideas and to pursue actionable B2B or B2G's engagements that can be implemented in the near future. To be very practical, let me state clearly that France remains committed to Nigeria, and it remains our mandate to keep the torch burning.
It is my pleasure to welcome you all this morning to what I consider one of the most important gatherings of the year. A gathering where we celebrate partnership, purpose, and progress between two great nations, France and Nigeria.
Lagos remains the epicenter of opportunity. Lagos is not just a city, it is an economy in motion. With a GDP of approximately $259 billion US dollars for PPP, Lagos ranks among Africa's largest economy, contributing in excess of 30% of Nigeria's GDP.
If I start with Total Energies, who's been here for over 60 years and is at least over the last 20 years the main investor in the country from far.
We've been the largest investor in Nigeria in the past 15 years in oil and gas. We have a track record of a very large project developed. And today our strategy in Nigeria is based on two pillars, should I say. One on the gas hand side, which is one of the axes also of Mr. President.
And as we look at gas and the impact of gas today, there's a lot more drive, even in the decade of gas plan, for a lot more domestic gas for both power, where today we have more than 515 megawatts of power generated in that sort of framework.
The first airline owned by a subnational government, Ibom. And since Ibom started, we have 3 flights, Abuja, Lagos, Abuja, Uyo, Lagos, Uyo. So accessibility was very critical. And if people can take a flight in the morning, get to Uyo, do a meeting and go back the same day, it's a lot better for them.
Lekki Port started operations 2 years ago, and as we speak, presently handles over 25% of Nigeria's current cargo.
About 80 million Nigerians are not connected to the grid today. And so these solutions that we've recently launched would help to bridge that energy access gap and connect the people that are unserved and underserved to electricity.
We have a government that is targeting the growth of $1 trillion economy. Government has said their policies is targeting inflation.
Yeah.
To combat inflation, which is to reduce money supply, you go to the financial sector.
When you find yourself in a situation where you almost dealing with things at a crisis dimension, the first thing you need to do is be able to break those things down and say, look, what are the issues we are dealing with? So we're dealing with inflation, we're dealing with exchange rates, unemployment, and so many other things. And so most of these things are interrelated. So it takes a discerning mind to sit down and say, look, how do we decouple these things and begin to address them? And that's what the government has done.
But what we're seeing in the market is that people are planning better. Right now, we're seeing a lot of companies, including the French companies, asking for rates even below the MPR. Yes, that's what's happening now.
Small businesses, that is companies that are earning less than 100 million in revenue. Before it was 25 million, now it's 100 million in revenue and below, with assets that do not exceed 250 million. These companies now are exempt from CIT, exempt from chargeable gains, and exempt from the development levy.
People have the mindset in Nigeria, even more than in Europe.
Wow.
They have the conscience of the environmental friendly aspect of EV. We have started with CNG also on trucks, and you can see how some operators are going full force on it.
In the last couple of years, we've not produced so much milk in Nigeria, and we need that milk for obvious reasons. So which means you have to first want to do food security, and then fundamentally you need to look at a point in the sense that you say, how do you basically support the local farmers?
So indeed, at Business France, our main goal, our main mandate is like to develop the French economic presence in Nigeria.
We have been operating in Nigeria since 2008, and we have invested over 3 billion euros since then in different sectors.
True, Proparco has invested almost $1.5 billion so far in Nigeria.
Ecosystem around agriculture is a key component to make sure that any kind of initiative that we can take in agric could be sustainable.
One of the participants that is in the room, Ampu System, he was one of our delegates with Moses when we went to France, and he was able to have a good partnership and sign an agreement. And today that company is doing well, and they are doing a lot of volume of business between France and Nigeria with this partner.
We are partnering with the Nigerian Data Protection Commission to accompany their journey toward the implementation of the Data Protection Act. We organize a study tour in France in 10 days for them to showcase the French approach in terms of data governance and protection of personal data.
I would like to once again extend my heartfelt thanks to Access Bank for hosting us for the third time. Together we can shape the future that is more and more innovative, sustainable and mutually beneficial.